Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me here today. As some of you might know, I am on a no-buy. I recently did a video on my no-buy / also a wish list video, kind of combine the two together. So if you have not seen that video, I will link it up here so that you can check that out, just kind of detailing a little bit more about my thoughts on why I decided to go on a no-buy. Big reason why I did decide to go on a no-buy is because I went a little crazy at the end of last year, purchasing quite a bit of things, particularly makeup, and one of them is the reason why I'm doing this video here. I did do a haul from Victoria Beckham Beauty, and I thought that maybe you guys would like to see what I did purchase. So I'm going to show you what I did purchase from that haul and give you some thoughts on what I think about the things that I did purchase. So let's go ahead and dive into what I did get. So let's go ahead and talk about mascara. I did include this in my favorites from January and February, and this is a really beautiful mascara. The packaging is really lovely. This is a glass tube, so it feels really beautiful and weighty in the hand. And if you saw that favorites video that I did, you will know that I really do love this brush, which is very skinny. And I do tend to love skinny brushes because they do tend to be lengthening, and that is really what I like to get from my mascara. But I do just really love skinny brushes. And I'm going to go ahead and put on a second coat. I already have one coat on. And the reason why I really like this brush is because it grips your lashes very, very firmly, but also very gently. So as opposed to the Glossier, which I also really love, I love the Glossier Lash Slick, which also grips your lashes very well and has a relatively skinny brush. That grips your lashes kind of in a utilitarian way. It like grips your lashes really firmly and kind of, like I said, kind of in that like utilitarian way. Whereas this one grips your lashes in a very kind, luxurious way. And I love this wand because it really gets in to this inner corner right here. And I always have a difficult time getting right here into that inner corner of my left lashes. And I just love how this applies. So this mascara is a huge hit for me. I love how it makes my lashes look. It's not super volumizing. Like I said, it's more lengthening. Just gives it that really pretty sort of fluttery look, very lengthening. You know, it gives kind of a natural look, but like natural plus. It just gives it that nice oomph that I like kind of on a daily basis. If I really want to go for a very, dramatic look, this isn't necessarily what I'm going to reach for, but on a daily basis, when I want a little something extra special, I'm going to reach for this. It is expensive, so it's not something I want to blow through really quickly. So as I mentioned in that previous video, my favorites video from January and February, I still will reach for the Glossier mascara probably more frequently because it is less expensive. And like I said, it has more of that utilitarian vibe about it. So I will want to go through the Glossier more frequently than I will want to go through the Victoria Beckham, but I absolutely love this mascara and I will be using it quite a bit. In that favorites video from January and February, I also mentioned the bronze eyeliner, which I absolutely love, but this was not a part of this most recent haul that I did. I think I got this a couple years ago, or whenever her beauty line first launched, I did purchase this and I absolutely love this. This is definitely a favorite of mine, but in this most recent haul that I did, the most recent purchase that I did pick up Cocoa, which I also really do like, but I do prefer bronze better. I will show you a swatch of this one. You can see that this is really, really dark and rich. And let's just show you actually in comparison to bronze so that you can see, in case you're curious. Bronze is much lighter, so you can see there is quite a difference between those two colors. And while I do really like Cocoa a lot, it is not quite as easy for me to use as bronze. As I was mentioning in that favorites video, the January, February favorites video, I find bronze really, really easy to work with. It just goes on so smoothly, so easily, and I just can use a really light hand with it, and the pigment just deposits down just the way I like it. I have to be a little bit more careful with cocoa. It doesn't give as much of a natural look as I want. It's, it's gonna be more of a deeper, more dramatic look than I typically want on a day-to-day basis. So I reach for bronze pretty much on a daily basis. I love the look of it. It's really easy to work with. It's really easy to smudge out. Whereas cocoa, I would reach for if I want a more dramatic look, a more of an evening type of look. If I want to film and I want, like I said, more of an impactful look, then I'm gonna reach for cocoa. So bronze is definitely more of a favorite for me because it's just more useful, it's more practical for me. I still really do like cocoa, but if I had to decide between the two, bronze is definitely gonna win hands down. I don't know as if I would necessarily purchase cocoa again in the future, but bronze definitely I will be getting again in the future. Sticking on the theme of eyes, I also purchased one of the lid lusters. This is the first lid luster I've ever purchased. When they first came out, I wasn't super intrigued by the colors and they weren't really getting the best reviews. But then when they came out with Tea Rose, I was definitely intrigued by this color. And you'll see here that when you open it up, it has kind of this little like protector, and it also, I think, kind of helps keep the product kind of smushed down. So I am definitely going to be keeping this. And this is what Tea Rose looks like. And it kind of has more of a mauvey purpley color. I don't really know as if Tea Rose is the best name for describing this color. Let's just talk about the texture real quick. It's firmer than I thought it would be. I mean, it feels very creamy and very satiny, but the texture, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, it is quite firm. I wouldn't say it's hard, but it is quite firm. And then the texture, once you're applying it, is quite smooth and creamy. And just look at that color. It's just incredible. Such a beautiful shift. And it's like brown and purple and pink. I just really, really love it. Very interesting, very unique, and I love how the light hits it. So I do not yet have this on my eyes today. I kind of have like a little bit of a taupey color on my eyes with a little bit of purple on it. So I'm going to put this on as a topper. We'll just kind of see what it does. Hopefully you can get a sense of what the Tea Rose topper did, the Victoria Beckham Lid Luster topper. Really love that kind of pretty pinky, browny, kind of mauvey shift that it gave. Even slightly bronzy shift. It's just so unique and interesting. I feel like it's really pretty, really easy to work with. Like I said, the texture is so interesting. Kind of this firm, moussey texture. And on the fingers, just so creamy, really beautiful slip, very easy to apply. I've only used it a couple times now, and from my experience, if I'm remembering correctly, the longevity is quite good. And I don't use eye primers, and I don't remember it creasing or feeling like that I was disappointed in the longevity. I'm not super picky when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, you might have higher expectations when it comes to a product like this, but I do remember feeling like that it lasted quite well. But as I said, a little bit of creasing here and there isn't going to bother me terribly. Let's go ahead and move on to the next product. I did get one of her blushes, and I got Playground. And this is a really beautiful kind of tawny, browny, apricot-y pink color that I just found to be really beautiful, something that is really up my alley in terms of a color. And let's go ahead and swatch that for you guys. Kind of looks a little bit more apricot-y brown on my hand than it did in the stick, I think. And I really find that this will be a really, really nice color in the spring and the summer. I will be honest, I haven't reached for it a great deal yet. I've used it a couple times and I actually really do like the formula. Let's go ahead and just put a little bit on so that you can see. I haven't put it on yet today. I have a different color on my cheeks right now. I think I have the Tower 28. Magic Hour, what is it? Magic Hour or Golden Hour? I'm blanking on what I have on my face right now, but I think this will be a good color to put on top of it. I feel like this color is in the same tonal family as that Tower 28 that I have. I think it's Magic Hour. That's what I have on. Wow, the sun is kind of blasting this out. I just adjusted the light, so hopefully you can really get a good sense of the color of Playground of this blush. I just really want you to be able to see this really beautiful kind of burnt apricot color, because I really do think it's really, really pretty, and I think it's going to be really, really nice for the summer, especially given a little bit, you know, I don't want to say drier texture, but a little bit more of a satin matte texture, which is different than the other blushes that I do tend to gravitate towards, like the Tower 28 and the Say blushes, which have a little bit more of that dewy texture. So I do think that this Victoria Beckham texture will be really nice for the summertime. When we're already inherently a little bit more dewy. I will say you might notice a little bit of glitter, which I think is the fallout from the lid luster. So I was a little bit heavy-handed with my application of the lid luster because I wanted to be sure that you all can see, you know, what the lid luster looks like. Typically, I wouldn't be quite so heavy-handed, so I think that's why I got a little bit of fallout on my cheeks from the lid luster. But just a heads up, there is that, you know, maybe a little bit of a propensity for some fallout of the lid luster. So just a little bit of a heads up on that. I think I will need to be a little bit more careful with my application in the future. Although, you know, it does look kind of cute having a little bit of glitter flecks on my cheeks, but just to be aware of that possibility that can definitely happen with the lid luster. And then last but not least, the only other thing I got in this Victoria Beckham haul is I did get one of her lip liners. I got shade 02. She calls them her lip definers. I've only used this one time. I'm not sure I got the best color for myself. I'm gonna swatch this over here just so that you can see the color. It is a really nice color, actually. Kind of on the warm side though. So I don't know, I've got to play with this one a little bit more, but that is the color. And I think the texture, it is a little bit on the stiff side. It's not one of those really creamy lip liners, which I do tend to go for. Actually, it's not super warm now that I'm looking at it. This is kind of a funny way to show you. It looks like I'm making one of those faces, but I think you can see here that it does look a little bit cooler. This is how it's reading to me. It looks like it's kind of on the cool side. Obviously, this right here is the 02 lip liner from Victoria Beckham. So I do need to play a little bit more with the lip liner. I'm not too sure that this is that big of a hit for me. Like I said, it does seem to be a little bit more of a stiff formula. I do tend to like a little bit more of a creamy lip liner, a little bit more user-friendly. I'm not a pro at applying lip liner, so I do tend to like the creamy ones that glide on a little bit easier. So I'll play with this one a little bit more, but we'll see how it ends up working out for me. Overall, though, I would say the big hits for me are definitely the mascara. I do think this blush is really beautiful. Like I said, the finish isn't something I would typically gravitate towards. I do tend to lean towards more dewy blushes, but I think this color is really beautiful. I think it's really flattering, and I do think it's nice for me to have something that is a little bit more of that satin matte finish. I think this lid luster is absolutely gorgeous. I think I will play with it a little bit more, maybe not so much as a topper where I feel like I need to use so much to get that impact. I'm really interested in using it on its own and playing with it a little bit more. As you guys know, as far as the eyeliners go, I absolutely love the bronze. A little bit on the fence with the cocoa. I think I need to play with it a little bit more. maybe be not quite so heavy-handed when I use it and just kind of maybe play with it very lightly and smudging it out so I can try to use it a little bit more on a daily basis. And then as far as the lip liner goes, definitely on the fence about this. I don't know if this is the best color for me. I need to play with it a little bit more, and I will keep you guys posted. So that is what I got from Victoria Beckham back in, I don't know when it was, maybe it was the end of November, beginning of December of 2021, before I went on my no-buy. Overall, I'm really happy with what I got. I really do think that Victoria Beckham Beauty makes some really, really beautiful products, and I would love to hear down below what your favorites are. I can't buy them anytime soon, but I am really curious to know what you guys have purchased from her line and what you really love, and maybe also what has been disappointing so that people can read down below in the comments maybe what to stay away from and what you guys highly recommend. So let me know if you guys like this video. Definitely give me a thumbs up if you did like it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.